I recently spoke to Jill Nosach, CEO of SOS Children's Villages in the U.S., and asked her what it felt like to get all these kids to safety.
Thank you for that thoughtful question. It felt like a glimmer of hope. There's just so much conflict and so much tragedy in the area. To know that we played a small part in helping at least some of the children be brought to relative safety in this difficult time feels really very much like a glimmer of hope.
Jill, did you face any obstacles as you were trying to get those kids out?
Yes, we faced obstacles, and it took a long time. This has been in the works for quite some time, working through diplomatic channels, engaging in appropriate manners is a slow process and not to be taken lightly.
How are the children doing now, nearly 70 of them that you and the group got out?
They're doing reasonably well. In fact, they're doing as well as you might imagine they could in this situation. One of the tenets of all of our work is around trauma-informed care. All of the children that come to us receive trauma-informed care. And as you might imagine right now, being with their trusted caregivers and continuing to receive that psychological care is making a great deal of difference. We're doing everything we can to normalize their living and continue to provide them with love, structure, normalcy, games, all the things that you would expect in any loving family.
You know, these images of children in Gaza are so hard to look at. What are those children telling you about their life in Gaza?
As part of the trauma-informed care, one of the things we try not to do is ask too many questions, but rather receive information. I can tell you a short story of the children that have traveled with us from Gaza to Bethlehem and are now in relative safety. The very first morning at breakfast, the children were not yet eating their breakfast. They had been living under food rations, and there was disbelief that this food was there just for them. Oh. To me, that tells the story, right? They're doing as well as they can, but they have been through a very, very difficult situation, and now they're waking up for the first time in a long time with adequate nutrition, without the sounds of conflict around them, in a space that's larger than they were previously living in. It's all new. And it will take some time to adjust to their new surroundings. Having their caregivers with them and those trusted relationships, those bonds of love, that makes a big, big difference to how they're feeling and how they will adjust to their new temporary.
Are you working to get more children out of Gaza, Jill?
Not at the moment, we are not. As SOS Children's Villages, our primary concern are the children without adequate parental care who are now in our care. We do continue to work in Rafah. We are currently sheltering and taking care of more than 100 children and their families who've been brought to us because they are currently separated or unaccompanied from their families. So in time, we hope to be able to reunite them. But in the meantime, we're doing all that we can to support them on site because it's really important that if they have kin, extended family or immediate family in the area, that's the best place probably for most of these with their family. So no, we do not have any intention at this point to move them.
And what can people like our viewers, people who are watching, what can they do to help, Jill?
Thank you for asking that. I think the best thing right now is if you are of a philanthropic mindset to continue to give to whichever organizations you support that are providing all the different kinds of aid in the conflict area. If you would prefer to support SOS Children's Villages, we're at sos-usa.org, and we would greatly appreciate your support. It goes directly to the children.
Jill Nosach, again, thank you for everything you and your organization is doing. We appreciate your time.